Forgive me, Father. I've committed a horrible sin.
What have you done?
I caved. I couldn't resist the temptation. I bought an Invicta.
Son, that is an unforgivable sin.
I know. And the worst part is, I actually kind of like it.
You what?
Welcome back to WristFind. Today we are looking at a brand and a watch that I never expected to be reviewing. I recently made a watch tier list video and got a lot of pushback for my placement of Invicta in the B tier. Some people argued that it should be higher up on the list and that Invicta actually has some pretty underrated watches. And others very calmly and respectfully argued that Invicta should be lower on the list. But it got me admitting to myself that I've never actually owned my own Invicta. I've held them and I've worn them several times and I've done tons of internet investigating on them, but I've never actually owned one for myself. So instead of throwing stones and rankings from the sidelines, I decided to drain the entirety of my YouTube AdSense revenue to see what all the fuss was really about. So this is the Invicta Pro Diver Automatic. Now I spent a lot of time going through Invicta's entire catalog, and while most of the time it felt like I was looking at the drawings of a preschooler who just discovered crayons, occasionally a simple and respectable watch popped up. By the way, if you're looking to discover new budget watches, check out what I made at wristfind.com. It's basically Tinder for finding affordable watches. You can swipe through and see pictures, price points, and specs. It's 100% free to use. I don't even have a sign up or anything for it. Just head to wristfind.com and start swiping. So after digging through the dumpster for a while, I landed on the Pro Diver Automatic. Now, in all honesty, the reason I was drawn to it is that it's basically a one-to-one clone of the Rolex Submariner, but we're gonna have to let that slide for now. From what I saw, it looks like a simple, no-frills diver watch with some pretty impressive specs. It has stainless steel construction, 200 meters of water resistance, a screw-down crown and rotating bezel, and an NH35 automatic movement with an exhibition case back. Honestly, not bad specs at a price point under $100. On the surface, it kind of reminded me of the Casio Duro, obviously with the Invicta having that automatic movement and open case back. And while I was making that tier list video, I really started to think about how much brand plays a role in how we choose watches, sometimes even over the specs. And this is something that Teddy Baldessar actually talked about in a recent video on Timex's new release. He was discussing how a lot of people will see a $1,000 price tag on a Timex and immediately write it off, even though that price is more than justified in the quality of the watch being produced. And that's kind of the same lens that I'm looking at this Pro Diver through. If you took the Invicta logo off this watch, I would have instantly been more likely to purchase it, just because I have preconceived notions or assumptions about the brand. And while I'm not a huge fan of this watch basically being a copy of Rolex, it's kind of hard to argue with the specs. And having worn this watch a lot over the last few weeks, it's also hard to argue with the quality and the wearing experience. When you put aside all the things that it copies from the Submariner, it does have a few cool features and quirks that I actually appreciate. The first one is this open case back exposing the movement. Even though it's a very simple mass-produced NH35 movement, I still love an open case back. It's an extra touch that I don't usually expect in a watch at this price, so it's a nice addition. The next thing I actually do like is this huge Invicta engraving on the side of the case. I know a lot of people online say that they hate this engraving, but I actually kind of like it. To me, it's embracing the strong Invicta look, but doing it in a less obvious way than a lot of their other watches. Invicta is often a lot more egregious in their branding, so I appreciate the relative subtleness of this. That's just my take though. I know a lot of people absolutely despise that lettering on the side, but I just think it adds a little bit of personality to the watch, and I kind of like how it proudly states that it's an Invicta, rather than trying to pass off as a complete clone. By the way, if you've made it this far in the video, do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button below. It really does help out the channel and allows me to review more watches that I wouldn't otherwise be able to justify purchasing. The last thing I like about the Pro Diver is the custom seconds hand with the little Invicta wings. I'm a sucker for custom hands on watches, and I think this is a really nice touch. The bracelet, I'll say, is respectable. It's not amazing, but it honestly feels on par with a lot of the watches in this price range or even above it. It's not too jangly or hollow, and it does have a nice solid clasp. And the 200 meters of water resistance is pretty fantastic. Like, this is a true dive watch. It's got the unidirectional rotating bezel, which actually has one of the most satisfying clicks I've felt in a budget diver. Honestly, much better than the Casio Duro in my opinion. And the watch overall just feels solid and durable. So look, I'm not about to say that this is my favorite watch of all time or that my opinion on Invicta has completely shifted. I still think they make some absolutely atrocious watches and deserve some of the trash talk they get. But I will say that I appreciate the brand more than I did before. I can understand why the Pro Diver Automatic is so popular and why so many people gravitate towards it. It's a solid dive watch for the money, despite it borrowing, shall we say, from other brands. It's a legit automatic dive watch with a reliable movement and solid build quality. Like, again, without knowing the name on it, it's objectively a good watch. So I can make fun of Invicta and their other watches all I want and will continue to do so, but I do honestly understand why someone would buy this watch. And no, I am not paid by Invicta. I don't think they would like me as a brand ambassador. Now, instead of impulse buying this watch right away, what I might do is go to wristfind.com and see if there's something else that catches my eye and is worth the money. Just an idea. But as always, a good watch is one that you enjoy and will actually wear. So don't listen to random people like me on the internet. Your collection should be your own. But let me know your thoughts down below. I'm eager to hear your comments on this one. Is Invicta still trash? Should I throw this watch away? Or does Invicta get more hate than they deserve? Let me know down in the comments. And if you're looking for something else to watch, YouTube thinks you'll like this video right here. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.